Adults over the age of 20 should have their blood cholesterol checked at least once every 5 years. It's easy. Just ask your doctor for a blood test. The hard part is lowering your cholesterol if it's too high. Your doctor might suggest that you switch to a heart-healthy, low-cholesterol diet because giving your diet a makeover can potentially slash your bad cholesterol numbers by 10 to 20%.
Heart-healthy diet implies trying to be careful in terms of saturated fat. And the American Heart Association for decades has been asking people to be aware of the amount of red beef and dairy and eggs that are in the diet to try to lower cholesterol. And that may have had some modest benefit. However, it had little benefit for weight loss. And so in the past year or two, the American Heart Association has worked more realistically with weight loss and heart healthy and trying to ask people to be more aware with cutting back carbs. And so less bread and less pasta, carb reduction, as well as modest reduction in saturated fat seems to be the better balance at trying to keep weight under control while at the same time taking the edge off cholesterol. And so the current heart-healthy diet still includes a broad spectrum of having beef, a little bit of beef, and lots of vegetables and chicken and fish, a broad spectrum diet. However, we're asking people to be more aware of carbs in a more modern diet, and that carbs are an important part of weight problems. And even with exercise, we need to be sensible with our carbohydrate intake. But at the same time, balancing and not going overboard in terms of saturated fats.
You also want to avoid trans fats. Trans fats are created when a chemical process transforms a liquid vegetable oil into a solid fat. Trans fats raise the bad LDL cholesterol as much as the saturated fats. But even worse, they simultaneously lower the good HDL cholesterol. Double whammy. While avoiding saturated and trans fats, don't get hung up on the word fat, because not all fats are created equal. There's a good fat out there, monounsaturated fats, that can improve your good HDL cholesterol. It's easily incorporated in the Mediterranean diet through foods like olive oil and nuts.
So in terms of the healthy diets that are now understood, the Mediterranean diet seems to be endorsed by the American Heart Association now in terms of the natural fruits and nuts that they're offering, including things like avocados. And so if we look at specific diets, although there's no general one answer for all, a Mediterranean style diet, including more fruits and nuts, including lots of vegetables and salads, all are clearly somewhat beneficial, and that part of the world does have a lower cardiovascular risk.
Mediterranean diets also emphasize the inclusion of omega-3 fatty acids, which protect the heart by reducing triglycerides and preventing abnormal heart rhythms. You can include omega-3 fatty acids by eating fatty fish such as salmon 2 to 3 times a week, or by taking a doctor-recommended fish oil.
Other dietary considerations besides beef and dairy and pasta for heart, blood pressure is an important role of eventually developing heart disease as well. Salt plays a modest role in blood pressure. It's not the answer for everything. A no added salt diet is the reasonable compromise. A no salt diet is a no taste diet. So nobody's going to stick with a no salt diet for long. But being sensible with salt, not being heavy-handed with salt, or what we call no added salt diet, is a reasonable way, along with exercise, to try to prevent high blood pressure in the first place. Blood pressure is different than cholesterol. It doesn't directly cause cholesterol blockages, but it contributes to injury of the walls within the cardiovascular system. So trying to keep blood pressure under control with exercise and a no added salt diet is the reasonable compromise for society.
It can all sound complicated. You need a chemistry degree to understand all these fats and omegas and sodium. The basic take-home message is to consume a diet of whole, fresh foods that incorporates a lot of fruits, vegetables, lean meats, nuts, and good oils. Avoid anything fried or processed, and keep your hands off the salt shaker. I'm Dr. Mike Rosen, and you're watching the eHealth Network. Stay healthy.